Dear aquarist, dear fish hobbyist, I'm not in the Amazon, although the picture is so beautiful in my background. I wish I was on the boat in the Amazon, which I've done 3 times. By showing diseased fish and talking about diseases, this would be a good environment to relax. But anyway, let's go into detail today about the Balantiocheilus or silver shark, which was a fish that was showing serious problems, becoming skinny and they were dying. And there was nothing particular we could see on that fish. The thing we noticed that some were becoming skinny, they waste away, and they started to die. And maybe you can spot a few in between the group here, like this one here, or this one here. See, it's becoming very skinny. Some are separating from the group. The fish will eat not properly and he will die. So there are quite a few more in the tank, which were showing that. Although most of the fish look very hungry, but on the time you're feeding in the competition, the more healthy fish will take most of the food. And like this one also here, and the most skinny ones and the weak ones will have a little chance. So they eventually will die, waste away, particularly in competition when they're with such large quantity together. So we examined the fish with a microscope and we found already in the gills that there were some lesions in the gills. You can see here, those lamellae are gone on this 1, 2, 3 gill arch, the gill arch. So this part of the lamellae are really gone. So the fish had a respiratory problem. You could, and internally, that was the main thing we observed today in our silver sharks, that like the spleen was in very bad shape with a lot of black to nodules. You can see black inclusions. Here you see some kind of tubercles already here and here also. So that was in very bad shape. And we go in detail, we saw on the side all those tubercles here. Next, here is the intestine. Here is also in the intestine. Here is a tubercle. Here's a tubercle, and here all around, you could see that the also here inside there's tubercles inside the spleen. So the organ is bad, the spleen is bad, the intestine is bad. Here's some detail from the intestine with the tubercles. See here, a big one, but here all small ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this fish was badly infected, which I pulled out the aquarium, which was, of course, a skinny one, which was dying. More tubercles in the mesenteria of this sick, skinny silver shark. When we checked the kidney of that sick fish, you could see all the black parts. Normally, this is nice red colored, like here in between. That is normal color, but you could see it's pale, not color right. We go in a larger magnification of about 250, 300. We see the calcification here of the tubuli. You can see here calcification, which is a bad processing of the material in the kidney. And you see the black blood clots also into the kidney. So that kidney was not working properly, and most likely here there's all bacteria playing a part in infecting that organ, and that is not functioning well. In the abdominal cavity, we found in the fluid a lot of bacteria. You can see all the rod bacteria and the pointed bacteria. So the fish was full with bacteria, had tubercles in the organs. Well, that was a serious case. The problem is that the very sick fish you cannot cure, but they are too far gone. When so many tubercles are there, as I explained in other videos, tubercles cannot be treated because it's encapsulated bacterial colonies and the organ encapsulated, so the organ is protected from that bacteria, but at the same time, some part, healthy part of the organ has been not used now. So it's begun. It's becoming a tubercle. To put to sleep, we recommend to use Narcomore. Well, most likely those tubercles are fish tuberculosis caused by the bacterium Mycobacterium. And to our surprise, sometimes the fish can live a long time with some tubercles. When it's a few, they can live permanently a long time. They can do, no problem. And the ones who are badly affected are the ones you see. They are becoming skinny and they will die. Uh, the fish with the free bacteria, which we saw in the abdominal cavity, that can be treated with antibiotics. That can be different kind of antibiotics. Ask your vet who is available for you to supply the antibiotics, because it's not always free available. The origin of the problem, like here on the tuberculosis, is usually the parent fish, the mother fish, who is passing it on through the eggs to the babies of the fish. It's coming from there, or through food that has been contaminated by Mycobacterium in food, like mosquito larvae. That is a typical food that contains quite often Mycobacteria into the food incorporated. Even the freezer process doesn't kill the Mycobacteria. Only the cooking will destroy it. So the other thing you can do is feed the fish during a minimum of 10 days with our Dr. Bassleer Biofish Food professional treat, or Biofish Food Fuco. Those 2 feed help the fish to build up more resistance and to do better with an infection, like a bacterial infection like this one. So it will help the fish in a case when they're not so badly infected, when they're still eating well, like we see some of the fish in that fish tank still eating well, and that a large percentage will survive. But first of all, if you're a pet shop, well, check your supplier, because it's the supplier who shipped you that fish. And you should complain and say, well, please give me next time a fish from a better breeder. Later on, well, yeah, what I can also add on this case, that after you've been feeding with our professional treat or our Fuco, that every month later on, you can feed with our Dr. Bassleer Biofish Food Forte. And Forte is what helps the fish to build up a good immunity system. And this is what you can do in the coming months afterwards. And I recommend 10 days a month to feed, to do a feeding treat with this Forte. So that was one of the cases, of the many cases I showed you. This time it was on a silver shark, another tropical fish we carry quite often in our aquarium. I hope this video helped you to become a better and successful aquarist. Thank you for watching.